Morning? No, afternoon.
I know. Afternoon. Listen, you know how much I like a Jaffa cake?
Yes.
Got the chalky orange thing going on here. Well, it's not a Jaffa cake I'm making, but
Is it a wagon wheel?
It's not a wagon wheel either.
You came home with a packet of wagon wheels yesterday.
I did. They're not what I thought they were going to be. I had one and I thought, actually the chocolate's really rubbish on this. It's not what I remember. I used to love them at school. They had butterscotch flavoured ones, and then they had those with jam in as well. It wasn't like that. It was one of those impulse purchases at a service station on the way home yesterday.
And where were you yesterday?
I went to see my grandson, my little Stanley, who is, have I mentioned that he is the most gorgeous little boy in the whole of the world, and I held him. He's so tiny, so diddy and so scrumptious, and he's so lovely. So I went to see him. So on the way back, I went for a wagon wheel, and I was sorely disappointed. However, what we're here and what we're making now is as everybody knows who watches the videos, I am the manky fruit woman.
Were you wearing that dress yesterday?
No.
Hopefully, you won't be now scarred for life and terrified of leopards for the rest of his life.
It's my leopard skin. I thought maybe it was sexy granny outfit. No, it's not doing it for you. Okay. Anyway, moving swiftly on to my manky fruits. My manky fruits are what I do. So we always got some hanging around to the fruit bowl. So I got loads of these little tangerines that I bought, and I can't remember buying. They're still quite juicy. So I'm going to make a tangerine cake with almonds. Not the boiled one. Not the boiled tangerine cake. This is like an ordinary...
I mean, not Nigella's.
No, not Nigella's. Yes.
Love that cake.
Do you? Really? I don't think it's just the cake. Anyway, I am making this tangerine cake with some ground almonds and butter. So it's kind of like a Vicky sandwich recipe base. Then I'm going to drizzle it when it's still warm with the tangerine juice and with some icing sugar. Let it go cool. Then I'm going to put some marmalade on top, and then I'm going to cover it with the chocolate fudge icing. Now, this marmalade I'm going to go into a bit more detail about, but this is made by the Artisan Food Company. And I think it's the Artisan Food Company. Artisan Kitchen. So sorry. The Artisan Kitchen. And this is the reason that I will never make marmalade in my life ever again. I have hung up my marmalade penny. There is no point in making your own marmalade when you can buy such exquisite deliciousness, can I tell you? Now, she has won 3 stars across the board this year with her amazing marmalades and jams. Okay, so we have the damson jam, we've got the pink gin marmalade on my toast every morning. I love this stuff. So can I just say, Artisan Kitchen, I shall put her in the Instagram, at the bottom of Instagram, and on YouTube, and I'm telling you, that's the one to buy. Anyway, exquisite. It's exquisite. Butter and sugar in here, softened butter, loads of tangerine zest going in there. Okay, tons of it. Goodness knows how many, but I would go say 4 big tangerines or 9 little manky ones, which is what we have.
They don't just have to be tangerines. They could be satsumas or...
Yes, they could be. Whatever you can find lurking around.
Oranges?
No, I want tangerines. Don't try and change it. It's tangerine, satsumas or mandarins, okay? Just back off. Mixing it now. Butter, softened, tangerine, satsuma or mandarin zest, and some white caster sugar. 250 grams of butter, 250 grams of the caster sugar. Whizzy whiz whiz now going on. I don't know why you need to even watch Nigella when you've got me in the kitchen. I don't know. I don't understand it. It's like your little secret, isn't it? I walk in the sitting room and suddenly it flicks over from Nigella to something else. It's got me. I don't need Nigella. I can do everything Nigella does. I can do that. Yum. What I'm saying. Right, in here, 250 grams of self-raising flour. No, 200 grams of self-raising flour and 50 grams of unctuous almonds. And baking powder, a woozly bit or a little scant deliciousness of baking powder flicking over your almonds.
Take it you're not a fan then.
I don't mind her. Right, I'm putting
Pants on
Shush,
fire.
go away. Now listen, now you've made me forget that I have to put eggs in before my flour because you've annoyed me so much. Right, I'm going to put my eggs in now. I'm going to put 4 medium-sized eggs in my butter. And I'm going to whiz it up. Okay? No, Della wouldn't do that. I'm going to whiz it up, okay? And you're going to go away and come back. Okay, so I'm just going to tumble in my self-raising flour in a very sexually provocative way, and then I'm just going to put it on as a folding mechanism. Okay. I'm just going to drape myself lovingly over my mixer. Done. Okay, so that's the flour, the ground almonds, and the scant woozly bit of baking powder that goes in with the eggs. All right, so it's all in there. It's all lovely. I bet it tastes delicious, actually. That it does. Oh, that is so lovely and tangerine-y. I've got a pan here. I mean a cake tin. It's a size. I'll go back to you with how big it is. But it's the right size for this, basically, for this amount of mixture. So I'm going to now pop it into, and then pop it into this, and then I'm going to bake it at 180 for about half an hour or so, I'd say. And then when it comes out, you're going to come back, we're going to have a look at it, and then I'm going to put that little drizzle over the top before it completely cools. Okay. That took exactly 40 minutes in the oven. Exactly. And it's risen beautiful. I flipped it over because I want the underside on the top because it's nice and flat. And it also absorbs all the lovely juice which I'm about to put on much better. So I've just got.
Won't it be uneven then if you flipped it over?
No, it'll be fine. It's flat. I want it like this.
So the other side is flat as well, is it?
Yeah, it is. I want the other side to be on the top because I want it. It's nice and flat. There's always a few little mounds on the.
Okay, as you were.
As you were. So tangerine juice that you squeezed brilliantly for me, sir, from the leftover tangerines that I juiced, and I'm just going to put a little bit of icing sugar in, not much, okay, just enough to thicken it up slightly. Mix that in, okay, and as that dissolves, I'm going to drizzle it, so I'm making lots of little holes on top, so all the drizzle goes inside, so you can have a really lovely moist cake. Okay. Stir this in, and then just take that juice and just let it be absorbed down the holes in the cake, all the way over the top. And then I'm going to leave this to cool. And once it's cool, we'll finish it off with I'm putting that lovely marmalade on top, and then a lovely chocolate icing. Job done. Sarah Churchill, who basically is the Artisan Kitchen. She makes the most amazing preserves that I mentioned earlier on, and she has just this year, and she's just won so many Stars of Great Taste Awards again. And it's not surprising because honestly, they're just, aren't they amazing, John? They're just the business. You can't do better than this. So that, as I said, there's no point making it yourself. Just buy it from her. Sarah, you're a star. We love it. We love your marmalade. So I'm just going to put it on top of this cake. This is the 7 Orange with sherry. A little bit of boozeroo in there, and I'm going to do some more boozeroo in the topping, the chocolate topping. Put the old Cointreau in.
I saw that was out. I was just thinking to myself, she's peaked a bit early.
She has. But do you know what's so lovely about this marmalade? I'm going to go on about it again. It's just that the bitterness in it is just so well judged. The sugar level, everything. The shreds in it, just enough resistance, but still melt in the mouth. It's so clever. Everything she does is so clever, and she just judges it perfectly. She really does. You know, there's just enough bitterness and sugar in there, so you've got that little twinge in the back of your jaw of the sort of tangy citrus bitterness, and then the sugar in it just pulls you away from that, but not too much, you know? So I've got quite a sweet cake here, and then I've got this lovely bitter marmalade going on top, or bittersweet, and then I'm going to do a really sweet and gorgeous chocolate icing on top of that. So I melted some butter, got some cocoa powder, and a bit of Cointreau and some water all together over boiling water, in a bowl over boiling water, to make this lovely mixture, which is very runny. So I think I might have added a bit too much water to it, but that's okay because I'm just going to add loads of ice and sugar to thicken it up. It'll all be fine. So as I do this, you might want to come back when it's all done. Basically, icing sugar to this mix, and that'll make a nice thick icing. There you go, can you see that? Lovely chocolate icing. So that's butter, cocoa powder, and icing sugar, and a little bit of so I don't really know how I'm going to do this, but I think I'm just going to that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to lay this over the top, because I don't really want to disturb the marmalade underneath, and I'm very happy for it to drip down the sides, so it is like the Jaffa cake. Do you like the look of this, John?
Looks fabulous.
I think so. I think it's a bit naughty.
Extremely naughty.
I haven't really done a chocolatey cake, have I, on these films? It's the first time. There we go. So now I'm just going to let it drip down the edges. So you've got to get the right consistency, because you want it to pour, but you still want it to sort of just have a little bit of life to it, just around the edges. As I said, I don't want to disturb the jam underneath, not jam, the marmalade underneath. That's the whole idea. So we have the perfect layer of, have I got around the edge there, because I can't really see it from here?
There's a few gaps.
A few gaps. It'll just drip down, just there. It'll do its thing. And do you know what I like? I actually, you could do this straight on the grid, so it's a nice neat edge, but I like those little puddles of chocolate around the edge as well, because you can just stick your finger in them, can't you? They're cook's perks. There we are. So you've got this lovely glossy icing. It's the butter in it that just gives it that little gloss over the top. Lovely. What do you think? Let's just give it a couple of minutes to set, and then I'm going to cut it, and then I'm going to eat a very large slice of it, and you're going to help me. Okay. See what I mean by the puddles of chocolate? That was a bit, wasn't it? Yeah. I got it. I think I've got it, haven't I? Well, probably should let that set up for a little bit longer, John, but I couldn't wait any longer, because it's so utterly scrumptious. It has to just be eaten. Look at that. Oh, that is a Jaffa cake of heaven, isn't it? So you've got that lovely tangerine cake at the bottom, layer of the bittersweet marmalade on top of that. Oops, and then my magnificent icing. Big. Oh my God. John, that is amazing. I'll tell you what. You're going to love me for this.
Can you just hurry up, because I want to slice?
It's lovely. Beautiful. And that base, can I say, the base with the tangerine juice drizzle going through it is just perfect. It's so moist, and then that lovely marmalade. Oh, Sarah, I love your marmalade and the chocolate. Honestly, John, it's just lovely. You've got to just have some. Come on. Just have no, come take it away. Eat it. Bye.